Welcome back to the deep dive. This is where we take those dense research stacks and, make them make sense for you. Today, we're zeroing in on something super high stakes in the digital world. It's all about local marketing domination, specifically for local service businesses. Think about your essential tradesmen, electricians, roofers, HVAC specialists, especially those in places like Amarillo or Pampa, Texas, where when you need them now. And if you run a business like that, you know the search dynamic. It's urgent. Someone's AC dies in the middle of July, or pipe bursts. They are not scrolling through pages of search results. No way. They grab their phone, they search, and they look straight at the Google Map pack. You know, that little box, the map, and the top 3 businesses listed right below it? That is everything. It's the bottleneck. If your business isn't showing up right there, you're pretty much invisible for those high-intent, high-urgency leads. They just don't look further.
That really is the heart of it. And the source material we look at hammers this home again and again. Before you even think about fancy digital campaigns, you absolutely have to establish stability, trustworthiness, at least in Google's eyes. So our mission for this deep dive, we need to pull out the 3 non-negotiable steps, the absolute must-dos for what the sources are calling phase I's, foundational stabilization. Get these 3 right, and you start showing up reliably in that map pack. That unlocks consistent lead volume. So yeah, let's dig into what those 3 steps actually are.
Okay, let's unpack number 1. Non-negotiable number 1. This sounds really basic, but apparently it's missed all the time. NOP consistency. We're talking name, address, phone number. Simple, right, but critical. It's like building something you wouldn't use different measurements all over the place. This is the digital version of that.
It's amazing how often this gets messed up. The sources have a term for it, digital drift. Think about a local plumber. Let's use that Joe's Plumbing example again. Maybe on their Google listing it says Joe's Plumbing and Repair LLC. Okay. But then over on Yelp, maybe it's just Joe's Plumbing and Repair, no ampersand, no LLC. And then maybe there's an old listing in a local directory somewhere that just says Joe's Plumbing Amarillo. You see the problem?
Okay, hold on, though. From a busy tradesman's perspective, that feels like nitpicking. I mean, an ampersand versus adding LLC or not. Does Google really care that much?
It cares immensely. Because Google's core job here is sorting out who's legitimate and authoritative, especially in local markets where, let's be honest, scams and shaky businesses can pop up. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to get important legal mail, but it keeps coming addressed to slightly different versions of your name, maybe slightly different address formats. The post office, or in this case, Google's algorithm, it starts to lose confidence. It can't be 100% sure all these signals point to the same single trustworthy business. So when Google bots crawl the web and find these mismatches, the algorithm basically flags it, lack of authority, lack of trust, and that directly translates to a lower map pack ranking, lower visibility overall. Fixing this, making it consistent everywhere, directly addresses that core pain point of just not being seen. It's like telling Google, yes, we're real, we're stable, here's our one true identity.
Right. So the fix is just rigorous cleanup. You have to decide on the one official version, the exact legal name, the exact physical address, the main local phone number, no variations. And then you have to basically push that standard out across every single place your business is listed online.
Precisely. And you prioritize. Don't just go after every random directory first. Target the high-value, locally relevant ones. The sources really emphasizing that we're not just talking about, national sites. We mean entities Google trusts in that specific area. They specifically mentioned organizations like the Pampa Economic Development Corporation, the Pampa EDC, or the Texas Panhandle Builders Association, the TPBA. Getting your NAP perfect on those sites carries way more weight for local ranking. And yeah, trying to track all these tiny inconsistencies manually, it's almost impossible. This is where efficiency tools come in. The sources mentioned using things like Notebook Element acts like an AI research assistant. You use it to log all the places you find inconsistencies during an audit. Then as you fix each one, maybe on some old city permit website or whatever, you mark it resolved in the tool. That way you track progress and make sure that drift doesn't creep back in. So yeah, NAP consistency is step 1. It's about earning Google's basic trust.
Okay, that distinction between Google's trust and, say, customer trust is interesting. So once you've got that foundational data cleaned up, that consistent signal going to Google, then you need to build your reputation. And that leads us straight into non-negotiable number 2. This is about harnessing reviews, but also using AI strategically. Apparently, it's not just about getting 5 stars anymore or even how many reviews you have. It's the content inside the review that's become like SEO gold. Let's compare. You might get a good review, something like, they fixed my air conditioning fast. Okay, nice, customer's happy. But then there's the excellent SEO optimized review. That one might say, Best HVAC company in Amarillo. They handled our heat pump replacement super quick. There's a difference.
Huge difference, right?
Yeah.
From Google's perspective, the first one is just fixed AC, generic. The second one tells Google, aha, this business is highly relevant for heat pump replacement, which is often a higher value job specifically in Amarillo.
Hmm.
That review is actively doing SEO work for the business by reinforcing location and specific service expertise using those valuable keywords.
Right, right. Okay, but here's the part that probably makes a busy contractor groan. You have to respond professionally, personally to every single review. If I'm out running plumbing calls all day, why can't I just have a template? Thanks for the review. Done. Why taking the time for a custom response or maybe paying for an AI tool to help actually worth it?
Because the response is your chance to talk back to Google, basically. A generic thanks is a completely wasted SEO opportunity. To really maximize your map pack rank, you need to show Google you're engaged, you're professional, and you need to subtly reinforce those keywords again in your reply. That's where the AI integration becomes so powerful for efficiency. The solution, the source's detail, involves using AI platforms, Gemini was mentioned as an example, to draft those responses. And it's not about just spitting out random text. It's about using the AI to maintain a consistent, professional brand voice, personalize it slightly, and hit the key SEO points. Across maybe dozens or hundreds of reviews a month, that saves an incredible amount of time for the business owner.
Ah, okay. So it's not just faster, it's smarter, it follows a specific structure. What are those required SEO elements for an AI drafted response?
Exactly. Structure is key. The criteria are pretty straightforward but crucial. 1, always thank the customer. Obvious, but important. 2, use the customer's name if possible. That handles the personalization. But 3, and this is the real SEO kicker, you must reiterate the specific service and the location mentioned in the review. So if the customer talked about their water heater installation in Pampa, the AI helps draft a reply confirming, we're so glad we could handle your water heater installation in Pampa efficiently.
Got it. So you're literally turning a customer service task, which you kind of have to do anyway, into this ongoing automated SEO signal. You're constantly feeding Google more data points, connecting your business to specific valuable services in specific locations. Wow, that is a clever shift.
It absolutely solidifies your relevance for those high-intent searches. It reinforces why you deserve that top spot in the map pack. Honestly, it's one of the smartest, highest-impact strategies mentioned in the sources for local optimization, especially given the relatively low effort once it's set up.
Incredible. Okay, that covers consistency and reputation building. Let's move to non-negotiable number 3, strategic service area and high-intent keywords. This sounds like it's about really dialing in your Google business profile, your GBP, to attract the right kind of jobs, the profitable ones, and improve your lead cost.
Yeah, let's quickly define those terms. GBP, Google Business Profile, that's your main listing on Google Search and Maps.
Yeah.
Your digital shop window, essentially. And CPL is cost per qualified lead. Super important metric. It tells the business owner, is my marketing money bringing in actual customers who need the expensive services I want to sell? Or just, looky-loos asking for cheap fixes?
Right. And if you just list yourself generically, you get generic leads, often low-value ones. The sources made this contract really clear. You don't want your GBP to just say general plumber or electrician. That's the wrong way. That leads straight to that pain point they mentioned. Unqualified leads, low ROI. Lots of calls, not much profit.
Exactly. The aim has to be hyper-specific. High commercial intent. So instead of just plumber, your GBP services should list things like slab leak detection Amarillo. Instead of generic HVAC, you list new water heater installation Pampa. Think about it. A call for a general plumber might be a simple $150 faucet fix. A call for slab leak detection. That could easily turn into a multi-$1,000 repair job. You want your profile optimized to attract that call.
Okay, that makes sense from a business perspective, but why does being that specific help so much with actually getting into the map pack?
It's all about relevance again. Google's mission is to give the searcher the absolute best, most relevant result for their specific need right now. So when you meticulously fill out your GBP, your primary category, your secondary categories, and especially that detailed services section, using only these high-intent, location-specific terms, you're basically shouting at Google, hey, for this exact job slab leaks in Amarillo, we are the specialist. We are the most relevant choice.
Kurt,
Combine that laser-focused relevance with the NAP consistency we talked about and the authority from those keyword-rich reviews. That's how you dominate the map pack for the searches that matter most.
And doing all this foundational work, this phase I stuff, it directly fuels the bigger picture, right? It gives the business the predictable income it needs.
Precisely. When you nail phase I and start dominating the map pack in your main service area, say Amarillo, you get that reliable flow of high-profit jobs. That predictable revenue, that stability, is what allows the business owner to then confidently move into phase II regional expansion. They can start targeting adjacent towns in the Panhandle, maybe places with less competition, because they've built a solid, profitable base. This stabilization is absolutely crucial before trying to scale.
And for reporting back to the tradesmen, the focus has to be sharp. The sources really stressed clarity here. Forget vanity metrics. The reports need to directly address that unqualified leads low ROI fear. So, you report on how's our map pack ranking and visibility? What's the actual lead and call volume we're getting? And critically, what's our cost per qualified lead? Is it going down? It's all about tracking those high-intent customers who are ready to hire.
Yeah, and to just kind of wrap this all together, the sources pointed to the commitment successful providers make in this space. They mentioned the WSI wedgie promise, what you see is what you get. And that wasn't just about results, but also about how they operate financially. A big emphasis on transparency in pricing, using things like fixed-rate packages, they named one, the tradesman lead machine, and having everything detailed up front in like a master service rate card. No hidden fees, no guessing games.
That transparency, that fixed rate approach is definitely refreshing, especially in marketing services where sometimes pricing can feel a bit murky. Okay, so let's quickly recap the big 3 non-negotiables for dominating the map pack. 1. Achieve absolute NIP consistency everywhere online. Name, address, phone number identical. 2. Use AI-powered review responses to constantly reinforce your specific services and locations, turning replies into SEO assets. And 3. Strategically optimize your Google business profile with only high-intent, high-profit keywords for your service area.
Perfect summary. And maybe a final thought to leave you, the listener, with, connecting this back more broadly. We just spent time talking about how something as basic as data consistency, name, address, phone, is the main signal Google uses to decide if a local business is even trustworthy enough to rank well. Think about that. If that's the low bar Google uses for algorithmic trust. What is the state of your own professional online presence? Maybe your LinkedIn, your various bios, company mentions. What does that consistency or lack thereof signal to potential clients, partners, or employers about your own authority and how organized you are professionally? Maybe think about that digital consistency as, well, the first step towards building your own commercial credibility online, something to chew on.